Target R8, solving for x. This target has three different kinds of problems, and I want you to notice that. This first kind of problem is just a bunch of parentheses, so it's going to use a lot of distributive property techniques. So what I mean by that is distribute, distribute. Oh, look at that. There's a plain negative sign. You're going to have to distribute that plain negative sign to both parts. Here's a -3 going to those, and then combine like terms and solve. We'll do that in a second. I want you to notice that this one's an x squared with no other x's in it. Therefore, I can just bring this over and I can take a square root. This one starts with a square root. So as soon as I bring this over, then I can get rid of the square root by squaring. So square roots and squareds go together. They're kind of opposites of each other, and that's going to be a technique practiced down here. This is the thing of distributive property and combining like terms. Let's see how it works out. So as I mentioned, you're going to give the 3 to both of these. That's going to be 6x plus 12. This is a tricky spot right here. Alert, alarm, So this right here, that negative, trips people up. Watch out for that. You've got to give it to both parts. So then it would be -3x minus 2 equals -3x plus 15, and then that random plus 10 on the end. That's the correct first line of work. And then it needs some cleanup where you need to combine like terms. So 6 minus 3, that would make 3x, and 12 minus 2 is 10, so now we're down to this, and then this -3x, and that would be plus 25. Now, 3x and -3x on the opposite sides of each other, add 3x to bring this over here to get rid of it from this side, and now we're up to 6x, so 6x, and then minus 10 equals 15. And then to solve for it, I need to make sure that I divide by 6 on both sides, divide by 6, and x equals 2.5 or 2.5. Next, I talked about this one briefly already. It's a squared, so add 5 to both sides, and x squared equals 25. Just take the square root. That's how you get rid of a squared. So I'll make this stand out here a little bit. Look at that. Just square root it because you had a squared. Boom. Square root cancels a squared, and x equals the square root of 25. Now the square root of 25 that most people think of is 5. But you're going to be forgetting here, not understanding. If the question starts with a 2 in the power, that means you're looking for 2 potential answers or 2 answers. So the other answer is -5, because if I took -5 times -5, I also get positive 25. So the correct answer is both of them. Watch out for that. You need them both if it starts out with a squared. Then the last one is pretty straightforward. You just add 3, you get the square root of x equals 81. Well, that would mean I would have to square both sides. So you've got the square root of x equaling 81. To get rid of a square root sign, you have to square it. So I have to square it on both sides. And the square root and the squared cancel, and x equals 81 squared. 81 times 81 is 6,561. And so there's your answer to that third one.